Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Welcome you all in today's session and request last chairs please come forward. आगे की सीट बिल्कुल खाली है, आगे आ जाइए. And request everyone also to keep your phone on silent mode. Before we start the meeting, request everyone to please raise for the institute motto followed by national anthem.
भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंधु गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उज्जल जगति तरंगा तब शुभ नामे जागे तब शुभ आशीष मांगे गाये तब जय गाथा जन गण मंगल गायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
भारत माता की. Please be seated. Welcome you again, friend. Friend, as we step into the audit session, bank branch audit becomes one of the most crucial and demanding assignments for all of us. With ever evolving RBI guidelines, tighter compliance requirement, and increasing expectations from auditors, staying updated is not just important, it is very, very essential. And to guide us on this highly relevant subject, we are privileged to have with us a very eminent personality, our past chairman of WIRCCA, Ketan Saiya sir. Sir's contribution to the profession and his vast experience in the field of audits have always been a source of inspiration for all of us. क्योंकि फ्रेंड्स, अनुभव की गहराई से जो ज्ञान लाते हैं, हर विषय को जो सरल बना देते हैं, आज हमें भी मिलेगा वो अनमोल मार्गदर्शन जो कैरियर को नई दिशा दिखाते हैं। एवं बैंक ऑडिट में एनपीए और प्रोविजंस का एक अलग महत्व होता है। तो एनपीए हो या प्रोविजनिंग का सवाल, ऑडिट में हर डिटेल का रखना होता है ख्याल। आज सीखेंगे हम बारीकियों का हर राज, जब मार्गदर्शन देंगे हमें सीए केतन सैया जैसे लाजवाब। Before taking not so much time, I request our coordinator and past convener CA Jayesh Jisa to come forward and briefly introduce our learned speaker CA Ketan Saiya.
Thank you, Kailashi, for the opportunity. Good morning to all. It's my pleasure to introduce our learned speaker, Sri Ketan Saiya. He doesn't need introduction, honestly, being an immediate past chairman of the WRC. Still, for the purpose of at least knowledge for all, certain issues which we are not aware, I'll just try to highlight. Ketanji is a practicing chartered accountant from last 31 years. He's practicing mainly on auditing, direct tax and indirect tax, managing partner of KDS and Associates. He has carried out statutory audits, internal audits, bank branch audits, specialized work, including for the foreign bank and nationalized bank. Banking seems to be his more core area of practicing, and that is how we have with us Ketan sir. He's a elected member of WRC since 2022, and he has served on various committees of WRC in various capacity. And immediately he was the immediate past chairman of WRC for 25-26. He was a past convener of the other CP study circle, past president of CVOC Association. He has served on various committees of the Central Council, particularly on bank branch and statutory audit. He has written various publications. He is a regular speaker at various forums with WRC, CIRC, SIRC, NIRC across India. Spoken on various public seminars on VLAN financial planning. He is honorary trustee of Kachi Visa Oswal Jain Trust. Apart from that, he is Visa qualified and diploma in Jainology from Mumbai University. With such a vast experience and knowledge, we look forward for a very enriching session from Ketan sir. Before I request Ketan sir to deliver his session, I request all past convener to do the honors for handing over the memento on behalf of all of us sitting here.
On the dais, convener of JB Nagar Study Circle, Kailashi, Deputy Convener Lalitji, Jayesh Bhai Shah, past convener, Bijal Madam, the conference coordinator, my colleague in Regional Council, CA Pinky Kedia Madam, co-speaker Priyanka, all galaxy of past conveners of JB Nagar Study Circle, Ankush, again a dear friend. It's indeed a pleasure to be here in JB Nagar, and perhaps this may be my third or fourth or fifth speech at JB Nagar on bank audit. And the earlier there were 100% of the audit of advances happening, and Kailashi rightly said that there is a reduction in the audit, and today some 70% of the advances are covered in a nationalized bank. And so is the case with the attendance कि पहले पूरा हॉल एकदम भरा हुआ होता था और अभी because of the mergers in the bank, because of the reduction in the audit, we see that the attendance is also reduced in the branch audit program, bank branch audit program in various places. IRAC, again, it has undergone in the last 20-30 years a lot of changes. First time in 91, the IRAC was introduced. We will be today covering up the IRAC, basically the asset classification, the updates, the income recognition norms, and asset classification. This is the terminology. So if you look at this slide, the 91 Narasimhan committee had introduced the IRAC norms, and prior to that, it was very subjective. And there has to be, a subjective discussion between the auditors and the branch management. And I still remember the first year of articleship, we went to the Pune zonal office, and we were doing, the firm in which I did articleship was doing a central statutory audit of Central Bank of India in that particular year. And we went to Pune zonal office. The zonal office profit was some 10 crore rupees, and zonal manager on the first day in the introductory meeting said that आप 5 crore तक जहां भी provision करना है कर सकते हो. And I was asking my senior कि ये actually क्या हो रहा है? So he said he's given that limit कि 5 crore you can spread in 10 account, 20 account, 100 account, 500 account, and up till that he will accept the provisioning. So that he wanted to show a profit of the zone in that year at 5 crore rupees. And I remember, irrespective of his saying, when we listed the provision as per us, that itself came to some 12 crore, 15 crore rupees. And then when we went and said him that it is going to be 15 crore, he said it is not possible. मैं zone को loss में दिखा ही नहीं सकता हूँ. And that bargaining used to happen. And then each account, when you discuss, you say that 100 rupees you provide, they will say 50 rupees we will provide. Like that bargaining used to happen. So the norms were completely subjective norms. And Narasimhan committee rightly brought this objective norms. So where you will not apply mind on the provisioning of percentage. And based on the life of an asset into NPA, the provisioning will happen. Standard asset also, the Reserve Bank of India off late, after the amendments happened multiple times, introduced the provisioning, but at the lower level, maybe 0.4, 0.5, 0.75, depending upon the risk of that. Also, what RBI said that overall on gross NPA basis, you should have 70% of the provision. You can maintain 70% of the provisioning at the gross level. So for example, I work out the provisioning at various percentage which are given, and I provided for 55% of the NPA eventually. Then additional floating provision I can do up till 15% more. So maximum 70% I can do, and that 15% in the required cases. Tomorrow, let's say I completed branch audit and the central auditors have identified some more provisioning. the allocation can be done out of that floating provision, and up till 70% Wala Funda is well accepted, and many of the banks have done the floating provisions, increased provision, irrespective of their requirement of maybe 40%, 50%, 60%, depending upon the quality of the asset. Largely, these norms are based on hum chartered accountant ki bhasha mein on a cash flow basis. So if there is a record of recovery, if money is coming in, then the account is standard. पैसा नहीं आ रहा है तो account NPA. Now कब पैसा कितना पैसा आना है उस पे आते हैं. Lot of time when we go to the bank does arguments that ये हमें नहीं पता, especially the branch managers, ये हमें नहीं पता, we don't know about this. So Reserve Bank of India circular says that board of any bank should have policy relating to these parameters. The most important to my mind is delegation of authority. This is very crucial. So the person who is sanctioning the loan, for example, if you take example of any nationalized bank, there can be a credit committee, CC, which is the highest authority for sanctioning the loan. मान लीजिए अगर एक बैंक 500 करोड़ का लोन दे रहा है, they have various authorities beginning with their branch manager at the various levels, chief general manager, bank manager, then AGM, DGM, various other authorities will be there, and highest authority will be credit committee on the board. Now let's say one loan is sanctioned by the credit committee or the board of director. Can that be renewed by a lower authority? No. One loan which is sanctioned by highest authority, can it be restructured by a lower authority? No. One classical case happened in one of the nationalized bank in Sakinaka branch, wherein the loan was sanctioned, let's say, by general manager. The deputy general manager sanctioned the restructuring. So for example, today we are in March 26, March 25 में audit हुआ. The loan which was sanctioned by GM, DGM approved the restructuring. Auditors also accepted that. They verified कि okay, restructuring ठीक हुआ है नहीं हुआ है. They accepted the restructuring. Account was kept as a standard. In the month of June, Reserve Bank of India inspection happened in head office under section 35. They pick up various loan, and this account was also picked up. For example, they would have asked which are the account which are restructured. Give us the list, and out of that account must have been selected. When this account was selected, they mention a note that the sanctioning authority was general manager and deputy general manager cannot sanction that loan. There were reasons of that happening. Despite of all those reasoning which was given by the bank, Reserve Bank of India said that this cannot happen. Not only that, they did not stop there. They issued a show cause to the branch auditors, saying that please explain in view of so-and-so RBI circular, whichever circular that time was prevalent, if the sanctioning authority was general manager, how did deputy general manager sanction restructuring, and why did you accept that? And if we remove that restructuring impact, the account was becoming substandard on March 25. This happened in the June. Let's say March 26, I am auditing that. What one more error which branch did is branch classified in June it as a substandard. March 26 also it was kept as a substandard, saying that 1 year will end in the June. So they are interpreting that we have classified this account as a substandard in June. So next June I will make it D1, doubtful. हम आते हैं उसकी aging पे, but this is one example on the authority matrix. That is why I thought that let me take it here. So look at the seriousness of case, that if restructuring norms are not followed and Reserve Bank of India checking it that they are issuing a show cause, they are downgrading the account to substandard. For whatever reason, computer is not classifying it as doubtful in the March 26 because date of NPA was fed into computer was 30th June, which was wrong. When RBI said that restructuring was wrong, automatically the date of NPA becomes the 31st March. If we remove the restructuring, February में कहीं वो NPA हो रहा था, so it becomes that date of February, and eventually if I look at the year end, it becomes 31st March NPA. So if I say that it was 31st March 25 substandard, automatically it should become doubtful D1 in the March 26. But computer did not do that because it was picking up based on the date of NPA. This teaches us few lessons. One, restructuring, verify very, very carefully. There are a lot of manipulation which are happening in restructuring. They name it as a reschedulement, rephasement, and it may be a restructuring. When we look at the commercial operation beginning date and the date of starting of installment repayment, and if there is a refacement happening in large loan or reschedulement is happening in large loan, you will have to see that the date of original repayment, within that, if the restructuring has happened of the dates, reschedulments has happened of the date, to some extent that is allowed. Irrespective of any other changes, within that period only the loan repayment should happen 100% where it was happening earlier. So for example, if I'm shortening the earlier, I'm saying कि पहले 2 साल में installment नहीं आएगा, then I should jack up the installment, but eventually bank should not suffer any loss in the present value also. So bank will have to calculate in the revised payment chart what is the present value of the receivable of the money, what is the value, and it should be same or higher than the earlier cash flow. If it is so, it will not be considered as a restructuring and it will be just a rephasement or reschedulement of the date, and which will be allowed. In all other cases, it will become a restructuring, and restructuring has to begin, number one, with the borrower's application. There is a classical case in one of the branch in Nasik. The branch auditors had written that the entire branch is restructured. So the question was, all the borrowers were restructured. Was there a Reserve Bank of India guidelines? There can be a state government guidelines in case of natural calamities where you may have stopped the classification. You cannot do restructuring, but you can stop the classification from making it NPA and keep it as a standard. But if you are doing a restructuring, there has to be a borrower's application. Beginning with the borrower's application, bank के मन में आया और उन्होंने restructuring कर दिया, that is not allowed. The restructuring should happen based on the request of the borrower. Second, the genuineness of the asking that. The reason for asking restructuring. Mind well, this is a bit a gray area. That is why we are dwelling upon it right now, and later on we will, just move fast. There are n number of cases which have happened in banking where to save an account from becoming NPA, the banks have restructured that. So point number one, borrower's request, no financial loss to bank. Financial viability of the borrower has to be there through application. The revised cash flow, bank should not incur any loss in the present value of the cash flow. The competent authority, the same authority which has sanctioned the loan should sanction the restructuring. These are some important points. There are some more points. If you have any account which are restructured during the year, please go through the guidelines. This is a relevant part of the circular very carefully. Stock audit, where any account is having balance more than 5 crore, bank should have a process of empanelment of chartered accountant, and from the panel of chartered accountant, the stock audit once in a year should be done. And if it is done, you have any account where cash credit or working capital limits are over 5 crore, you call for a stock audit report. It should not be older than 12 months. When you pick up that report, please go through. There are cases where drawing power calculations are not done properly, and the stock auditors have reported that, and the branch auditors have not taken cognizance of the stock audit report. And this is one of the observation of Reserve Bank of India. As many as 70 notices were issued last year also. On an average, around between 75 to 100 notices are issued only in Mumbai to the branch auditors by the Reserve Bank of India about various deficiencies in the branch audit, and they are called upon to give an explanation. And in that, one of the point for which the show cause was issued was this only. There was a classical case. For example, there is a Maruti car dealer, a leading Maruti car dealer in Mumbai. And typically in case of Maruti, they give their own stock also to the car dealer. So for example, I'm a car dealer XYZ. I have 500 cars which are purchased by me on my own account, and there could be 1,000 more cars which are given by Maruti to display in my showroom, and they have pushed that stock, and they may do a billing after 1 month, 2 months, and this is the strategy of the all car companies. So now today the stock auditors have said that we went, we verified the stock. There were, let's say, 1,500 cars, but we are not able to bifurcate the company owned car and the dealer owned car. If this is one line of statement, which means indirectly he's giving you a disclaimer saying that he's not able to check the drawing power calculations. Practical difficulties he may be facing, client may not be cooperating, bank may not be cooperating, whatever may be the case. Now you are the branch auditor, realizing this one line of disclaimer, you must ask for a clear bifurcation along with the invoice proof. And you should know that, okay, 500 cars are owned by the showroom or by this agency, and 1,000 cars are of Maruti. And if 500 are these person's car, knocking off the creditors, one more controversial point I am touching upon, net own car are how much? And then maybe if you have debtors in car, it should not happen. In this case, there were fake debtors which were reported, wherein the Reserve Bank of India said that knowledge of business, we have one pronouncement of ICI where we say that understanding of business. And we must know little bit of the business of the borrower also, or if not, we should understand from the bank. So in normally we see that in car companies cases, the car dealers are not directly giving you credit. मैं आज अगर कार लेने गया, मेरे पास पैसा नहीं है, they may arrange a car loan and I may have a loan of any bank or an NBFC and I buy a car and I pay EMI, but it is never to a car dealer. In this case, the private sector bank had sanctioned this loan, the other branch of one of the private sector bank, and data were shown, first of all. Unfortunately, whoever did that audit, the stock auditors were also issued a notice, did not realize there cannot be so many data. There can be few cars sold sometime on credit in case of companies, but individual mein to kabhi nahi hoga. So definitely there was some manipulation in data statement which was submitted, and also in the stock of the pool car which was given to the bank based on the own car of the companies. And when all these details were removed through a forensic audit, they realized that the drawing power calculations were not meeting the outstanding, and for a continuous period of more than 90 days, rather more than few years, the account was continuously out of order and account was classified as substandard. Now in this case also, the date of NPA is crucial. Today I identified that it is an NPA, and because of some manipulation of last year's, the account was not classified as NPA in those years. The date of NPA will go to the original date when the 90 days had ended and account was overdrawn, and maybe today if it is 3-4 year old, it will straight become doubtful. These type of cases have happened in Mumbai only and have been pointed out in some cases by branch auditors, some cases by concurrent auditor, and some cases by Reserve Bank of India. So mind well, this particular slide, I have given it to the JB Nagar study circle, and I am sure they will circulate to all of you. Please pay attention and apply your mind. And this is the 7 policies where board should have in place the policies. Not only that, the Reserve Bank of India circular says that the board should display adequate data on a website where any borrower cannot say that I am not aware about XYZ policy, and they go to the website of the bank and should be able to see the policies which are framed by the board with regards to the advances. So broadly, the asset classification is like this. Standard asset, मतलब कोई problem नहीं है, money is regularly paid by the borrower, and non-performing asset means there is a problem, the asset is not performing. The categories in non-performing is substandard, doubtful, loss. Doubtful, further 3 categories, D1, D2, D3. Any loan, any facility, we will come to that, from the due date, if it has not paid for 90 days and bank is doing a day-end process on 90th day has ended, the account will be flagged as NPA. First time when account has become NPA, it is birth as non-performing asset, it will automatically go to substandard asset. 1 year it will remain in substandard category. Post that it will go to doubtful category. Doubtful, we have 3 categories in between, D1, D2, D3. Moment it is transferred to doubtful, for 1 year it will remain as D1. After the 1 year, up till 3 years, it will remain as D2. Beyond 3 years, it will become D3 and it will remain in D3. Now, why this is crucial to understand, and there is an exception. ये हो गया aging का बात. If an account is secured, we are talking about it. Then Reserve Bank of India has said about some exception wherein today I classified account as NPA and straightway it can go to loss or straightway it can go to doubtful. The cases of fraud, one of the example which I just now narrated, where borrower manipulated something and bank did not realize, and today when they notice it is a non-performing asset, the account is out of order, the date will not be of current year, it will be of the prior year, and actually today that aging has already passed, and account may straightway go to D3 or loss. Second possibility, borrower said that account is secure and bank also sanctioned a secured loan. Unsecured पे आते हैं 2 मिनट में. ab initio account secured है, account was classified as substandard, installment में default हो गया, substandard हो गया account. Now bank, internal auditor or external auditor feel that there is a higher provisioning required. Why? Because there is a security valuation में problem है and there is erosion in value of security. Now, the Reserve Bank of India says that if there was a 100 rupees property and you today when you identified this account as NPA and you realize as an auditor that there is an erosion in value of security, एक example लेते हैं, सबके समझ में आए इसके लिए. So, and the value let's say 100 रुपए का था तभी जब लोन दिया और आज जब NPA हुआ and I am evaluating, the value of security is 45 rupees. So RBI says if you find that account cannot become substandard, it should go to doubtful category because there is erosion in value of security. Now you find that there is a fraudulent document of that property and actually property doesn't belong to the borrower. So value of realizable security is 0 or less than 10%. So RBI says in such cases, when you identify that there is an erosion in value of security and realizable value is less than 10%, in the year 1 itself, the account will be classified as loss asset. This is the exceptions. Santa Cruz, there is a project called The Address. One of the prominent builder in Mumbai is doing redevelopment of the project. Few years back, अभी का तो status मुझे भी नहीं पता है. Loan sanctioned by IFB Vile Parle. 100+ crore loan. Value is that project, security is that project, +1 land given in somewhere in the Saiya as a collateral. For some reason, whoever filed suit, the project is stopped. Half constructed, 1 or 2 floors were just constructed, and the project was stopped. March 2015-16. Branch auditors identified that this is an NPA, branch agreed, classified it as a substandard. Now, when the evaluation of security done, the realizable value of the security was coming less than 50%. 2 reasons. One, this particular bank where this audit was carried out was having 2 joint valuer, and the joint valuer valued this asset when it was about to be constructed. There is a peculiar way of calculation of the project, and let's say they valued at 150 crore the address, and also that land was valued at 80 crore, 90 crore, whatever. And in the proposal, it was said that there is a 200 crore plus facility. So the security cover is 2 times. Let's say 100 crore rupees का loan दिया हुआ है, and 200 crore plus security available. Account became NPA, project रुक गया. Now, same bank has a possibility that when account becomes a substandard, again two valuers should do a valuation. When the again valuation was done, the valuer said that number one, the project has stopped. So now what is the realizable value? They valued it, they valued and gave some 70 crore, 80 crore, whatever figure they gave. The branch auditor said that today can you sell that project? Can you sell a flat in that project when actually the construction is stopped for last 2 years based on the stay by High Court? So the realizable value of security is zero. Second, land which was earlier valued at 80 crore rupees, when the second time valuation was done, it was valued at some 20-30 crore. So there was a clear-cut case of overvaluation in case of land. This time, the Reserve Bank of India circular, first time, has brought a change, and it said that there is an accountability on two professionals, one advocate, second valuer, जो अब तक नहीं था. And many times the auditors were saying that there are n number of cases of overvaluation. Every time central auditors, day after tomorrow also there is a meeting by PDICI of the central auditors of various banks and along with the RBI officer. हर साल ये meeting होती है. And when the central auditors along with the other people were giving feedback to RBI that there has to be something done for these type of cases, RBI positively, rightly, this time when the master directions have come in November 2025, updated till 1st January 2026, they have included one paragraph on accountability, and which says that any valuer doing overvaluation, the cases of overvaluation, or the advocate's title certificates are finding error, mistakes, or any other reason, tomorrow it is found that the title was actually not clear and they have issued a certificate for clear title. In both such cases, there will be cases of accountability and Reserve Bank of India will take action. The Indian Bank Association will be notified about this valuer and advocate and they will blacklist them. Mind well, ये बहुत serious amendment अभी आया है. And there will be a lot of improvement in the quality of title certificate which are given and the valuation reports. We know being from Mumbai, there are some valuer उनको जो valuation का certificate चाहिए वो दे देते हैं वो लोग. I think that practice will now stop. And with this, there will be improvement in the quality of audit. Coming back to the case which I mentioned of XYZ Bank at Villeparle, the valuation was coming below 50 crore. So naturally, the account in the first year itself became doubtful instead of substandard. One more case of Lokhandwala, where there were exports, agri-export finance was done. Now the company was supposed to procure the agricultural spices and all those products from southern India and were to export to various countries in Europe. The land was given as a collateral and the agricultural produce were primary security. Auditor, while doing the audit, found that the bank has classified it as a substandard. However, when the evaluation of security was done, naturally the stock was not available. There was no stock inspection report available. Every branch officials are regularly supposed to do, first of all, their own inspection report. So anytime you found account became NPA and having working capital finance, ask for their inspection report. बहुत सारे केसेस में ये होता ही नहीं है. So call for inspection report, and when you get the inspection report, read through, are they themselves saying that the stock is available? In this particular case of Lokhandwala, there one more problem. The auditors found in the audit file that there were paper cuttings of Southern India newspaper saying that this land, same land, was also given as a security to few other banks. And the party had taken from on the basis of one land multiple facilities in southern India. So naturally the realizable value for this particular bank was virtually zero. Stock is not available. So account cannot be classified as a substandard in year one and straightway it should go to loss. And it was proposed rightly as a loss asset. So these type of cases are the exception on the aging. Otherwise, in all other cases, based on the age of account in its NPA category, date of NPA, it will move like from substandard to doubtful D1, D2, D3, and then upon identification by internal auditor, external auditor or bank, from D3 it can be shifted to loss, where an auditor feels that there is no possibility of realization. So this is the upper part is explaining the format of calculation of advances. And as I talked about the floating provision can be kept up till 70%. Coming below is the aging. As I said, the first part is the standard asset, then substandard up till 1 year. Then if you see up to 1 year, it is D1, 1 to 3 years. So second year and third year, it becomes D2, and beyond 3 year, it will become D3 and loss in any other case. So these are the trigger points for an account to become an NPA. So in case of term loan and all other facilities except this out of order of cash credit, we will come to that. All facilities from the due date, if they have not paid for 90 days, on 90th day, when the day end is run by the bank, account will become NPA. This is the funda of out of order only for working capital finance, which includes overdraft. Reserve Bank of India has clarified this year that there were an argument of many people that CC, OD दोनों में आउट ऑफ ऑर्डर देखना है या नहीं देखना है, कैश क्रेडिट में तो देखना ही है, ओवरड्राफ्ट में देखना है या नहीं देखना है. So RBI said that yes, in case of overdraft also you will see the fundamental of out of order. Now what is out of order? You have a loan of let's say 100 rupees. I am presuming drawing power is 100 rupees and outstanding balance is 110 continuously for more than 90 days. In such case, it will become NPA. Second possibility, 100 rupees sanction limit, 75 is drawing power, balance is continuously above 75, less than 100. Sanction limit से कम है, drawing power से ज़्यादा है. Still it is triggering out of order and account will become NPA if it continues for 90 days. Third possibility, 100 sanction है, 75 drawing है, लेकिन balance 50-16 ही है. But there are no credit in the account, or the credit are insufficient to cover the interest which is debited in that period. So let's say in last 3 months, on that 50 rupees, 3 rupees interest debited, 10 rupees of 3 months interest is accumulated in the account. पहला interest जो debit हुआ है, that has passed 90 days. So on 90th day, since there are no sufficient credit, the account will become NPA. So 3 possibilities of out of order. Mind well, इसमें manipulation कैसे हो रहा है? Computer is gigo, उसे नहीं पता कि type of credit क्या है. And if I'm a smart manager, what I will do is, and it is being done in various cases, from inter-office account, I will credit one of the borrower's account. Let's say मुझे पता है कि 10 रुपया अगर इस account में credit हुआ तो account NPA नहीं होगा. On 90th day, I will go and debit inter-office account and credit the borrower account. Next day, I will say, okay, there was an error. I mistakenly credited this. Now I am again debiting the borrower and recrediting inter-office account. तो अब मैंने गलत क्या किया? कुछ नहीं. एक दिन गलती से एंट्री पास किया था, दूसरे दिन करेक्ट कर दिया एंट्री, तो बैंक को तो कोई लॉस नहीं हुआ. बराबर है? कंप्यूटर को ये नहीं पता चला कि the money which has come in this particular account has come, or this is just an entry of debit credit, and computer is not catching that. So now when you find any such entries of solitary credit, अभी हम उस पे आते हैं, तभी we will further talk about solitary credits. Also, when there are regular credits, please ask the team to glance the nature of entries. When the inter-office entries are passed, the nature of entry as such it is reflected in the computer will be different than the regular credit which are coming from outside. दिखने में ही आपको अलग दिखेगा वो. So look at that and you will be able to identify according to me. Further, you find that there are SMA 1 or SMA 2 cases. अभी आते हैं SMA पे 2 मिनट में. तो फिर भी अभी बता देता हूं, इफ यू फाइंड दैट देयर इज एन अकाउंट विच इज इन SMA2, हमने डेटा बोला बैंकों के पूरे साल का, प्लीज गिव अस द अकाउंट विच आर SMA2, मींस विच आर ओवरड्रॉन बिटवीन 60 to 90 days. Give us that data. You find that there is an account. मान लो हमने 4 क्वार्टर का लिया या 12 महीने का लिया, हमने फाइंड आउट किया एक अकाउंट फॉर every 4th month it is not there in SMA2, or every 3rd month it is not there in SMA2, and next month again it becomes SMA2 or SMA1. Pick up such cases and try and go through their bank statement, the account statement. When you go through, you will realize if there are errors or manipulation happening, and if you do test check, you will be able to catch that. Second possibility of solitary credit, एक 2 मिनट में आते हैं. Before that, we will just say that, see ये जो है IRAC directions, ये सारे जितने भी सर्कुलर्स थे सबको मर्ज करके नवंबर 25 में रिजर्व बैंक ऑफ इंडिया हैज कम अप विद दिस डायरेक्शन, एक्सेप्ट गोल्ड लोन सर्कुलर ऑफ 2014. एक ही सर्कुलर है which you are supposed to see. So meanwhile, when you go to the audit, download this particular circular and keep it in your desktop and try and search for verification of loan. There are at least 20 pages. Not only this, the guidance note of ICAI of March 26 is published 1 week before. Please download that and also keep that as a sort of reference book for you. The Western India Regional Council book is also circulated to you, which is a handbook having various chapters. Quickly you can refer. If you want to refer, you can refer the handbook. If you want to do a detailed study, guidance note or the Reserve Bank of India directions. So please, these 3 things you should have when you go to the bank audit, and try and look at all the products based on the guidelines which are given. Before I move further, especially the banks like State Bank of India, if you are auditing and if you are verifying the working capital finance, mind well, मैंने अभी कार लोन का एग्जांपल देते वक्त बोला था कि माइनस क्रेडिटर्स. So bank like State Bank of India is arguing that you cannot knock off the creditors. The creditors, the debtors and the stocks are my own property and I will have a prior charge. Most of the banks are saying okay, the paid creditors, और वो sanction letter में भी लिखा होता है, SBI के भी sanction letter में भी लिखा होगा. So that is your point of argument when you are knocking off the creditor. Also, over years, now at least SBI has started accepting that when they have done the assessment, at that time, whatever was the creditor's level, beyond that, if the creditor level is rising, that differential creditors you can knock off, that they are easily accepting. To make it more clear, let's say I have 100 rupees stock. When I have given them the file projections, मार्च 26 के लिए मैंने बोला 100 रुपीस का स्टॉक है, 75 रुपीस के मेरे क्रेडिटर्स हैं और 50 रुपीस के डेटर्स है. And today, if let's say 100 rupees stock is there and 100 rupees creditor is there, that means the creditor level is risen from 25 point from 75 to 100. And actually for the gap of working capital, only bank has given a finance. So now the creditor level has risen. So they are easily accepting to reduce that difference of 25. Reducing this 25 first, then you can show them the guidance note on bank audit, which also says that the creditors and the stock should be the paid stock and cannot be unpaid stock. ये वाले point पे you can calculate. Now you may say that how will I come to know about the creditors, and many of the places the creditor data is not given. You will have to give a disclaimer in long form audit report. If the stock statements are not proper, you will have to say that I am unable to verify the drawing power calculation. I am unable to comment upon the same, that you will have to mention. Leaving that as such, also when you look at the drawing power calculation, you call for the March 25. Today you are in March 26. Call for March 25 stock statement, data statement and financial statement of the borrower. अगर अब तक financial statement नहीं आया है, passing the other regulations अभी आएंगे, the account will automatically become NPA. 180 days have passed from the due date of submitting the balance sheet. If they have not submitted, the renewal review cannot happen. And if that also cannot happen without the financial statement, the account you will have to propose it as a NPA. अब आपको financial statement अगर मिल गया, check March 25 में बैंक ने कितना stock स्टेटमेंट में दिखाया था बैंक को और कितना फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट में है. Similarly, debtors, creditors and other parameters you can evaluate. Comment upon the quality of financial statement. If you find that the stock data which is given to the bank is not correct, having huge differences, you can take lower of the stock which is there in the bank statement or financial statement, make your calculation or drawing power and comment that the account is NPA based on this data. Now, as per the amendment in the Companies Act, if it borrower is a company, pick up the financial statement of company, there the statutory auditors of a company is supposed to verify the bank statement which is given, and they are also supposed to comment whether there is any difference between the stock which is given to the bank and stock which is given to the auditor for carrying out the company audit. So वो भी point कारो अगर applicable हो उस company में, you can verify that point as well. And based on that comment also, you can write a comment in your long form audit report. This exercise is not so easy way I am saying. It requires time, it requires an argument, and it is not that it is easy to talk from here. But when we go to the branch, we all have to struggle. Even I have to struggle, fight, argue, everything happens. But this is the way to find whether an account is NPA based on the manipulations in the drawing power calculations or not. And this is the way to find out. This is the beginning. After that, you will have to give them mails saying that you are proposing it as NPA. Don't wait till last date. Mind well, the bank audit, the simple strategy of a branch manager is psychologically telling you that first day आपको पहला क्वेश्चन क्या पूछेंगे, कितना दिन लोगे. पिछले साल के ऑडिटर तो 2 दिन में करके गए थे, आपको कितना दिन लगेगा. सेकेंड क्वेश्चन, अगर आप 9 बजे भी गए हो तो खाना क्या खाओगे. भी 9 बजा है, 10 बजा है, but his question is, then he will suggest, suppose today you are in Andheri, he will say सम्राट में बहुत अच्छा खाना मिलता है, वहां का थाली आपने खाया है क्या कभी, तो लेट्स गो टू सम्राट. सो यहाँ से मेरे को 2 घंटे जाने लगे, 2 घंटा आने लगे, आते आते ही शाम हो जाए खाना खाने में. And even if I am banker, nothing wrong in that, मैं भी वही करूंगा, that my auditors spend minimum time in books of account and let them spend time in anything else. But we will have to avoid that. We will have to smartly minimize the time on any other matters and in advance communicate them that what files you want. Because if you do not communicate, अब मैं branch में जाके 4 फाइल मांगूंगा, 2 घंटा फाइलें नहीं आएंगी. They have staff shortage, they have peon shortage, office boy shortage, and they will say एक ही office boy है, वो यहाँ गया है, वहां गया है, client attend कर रहा है, दे रहा हूँ, ऐसे चलते रहता है. So 1 day, 2 days in advance, you should communicate. Now you will say that day I receive appointment letter, मुझे कैसे पता चलेगा. There is a detailed requirement list. वो पहले दिन, जैसे अगर 28 तारीख को अपॉइंटमेंट आ गया, ब्रांच का आईडी मिल गया, उनको मेल कर दो, आई विल बी वेरीफाइंग दिस एरिया, wherein you can say for advances that in each category I will verify top 5 account. For example, this is the way you want to write 10, you can write 10. So for example, education loan में 5 देखूंगा, personal loan में 5 देखूंगा, working capital finance top 5 of the branch देखूंगा. As per the Priyanka is going to take long form audit report, top 10 account of the branch we will have to verify, more than 2 crore we will have to verify. Mind well, the data which is to be punched in this formula, in this format of 2 crore is not to be done by branch auditor. It is the job of branch. But हम लोगों के सिर पे डाल देते हैं. So please tell that Reserve Bank of India has communicated time and again that this data has to be given by the branch in the format of 2 crore advances, and then branch auditor is supposed to verify that. And if it is not correct in the auditor's observation part, he will write that. So communicate them well in advance about your requirement so that when you go to branch, they don't cry that we were not aware that what you want. Try and take data of large advances in all categories, pick and choose, call for the data of account restructured during the year, call for the data of the account which has become substandard during the year. This is your first lot of verification, that top 5 account in each category, account which have become substandard, account which are restructured during the year, account which are upgraded during the year. पिछले साल NPA था, इस साल standard हो गया है. So this is the minimum to do which you will have to do as a branch auditor, and you need to call that data in advance so that within 3 days, 5 days, 7 days, 10 days, you are able to do an effective audit. ये provisioning norms मैंने आगे ही ले लिया है just to make you realize that if there is one account which is in substandard, यहाँ पे हमारा एक part pending है, हमने secured loan के बारे में बात किया था. Now we will talk about here the account which are अब इनिशियो अनसिक्योर्ड. सो हमने जो एग्जांपल लिए थे उसमें इफ देयर इज एन अकाउंट व्हिच इज टुडे क्लासिफाइड एज ए सबस्टैंडर्ड सिक्योर था, हमने फाइंड आउट किया कि इरोजन इन वैल्यू ऑफ सिक्योरिटी है, वी हैव पुश्ड दैट टू D2, D1, D3 और लॉस बेस्ड ऑन द वैल्यू ऑफ सिक्योरिटी एंड द एरर्स एंड द रिस्क इन्वॉल्व्ड. अब यहां पे रिजर्व बैंक ऑफ इंडिया क्या बोलता है कि मैंने एक पर्सनल लोन दिया है व्हिच इज अनसिक्योर और आज वो एनपीए हुआ, विल इट गो टू डाउटफुल और लॉस? Year one it will not, because it is an ab initio unsecured advance. Knowingly bank has given an unsecured advance, so year one there will be a higher provisioning. तो आप एनपीए स्टेटमेंट जब देखोगे तब आपको दिखेगा secured and unsecured differently classified, and in that सबसे simple, if you want to do a cross check of the provision figures are correct in branch or not, you can pick up substandard and see that the provisioning is matching to 25% or 15%. तो ये फर्स्ट ईयर में सब स्टैंडर्ड रहेगा. सेकेंड ईयर में इवन इफ इट गोज टू D1, यहां पे D1 में सिक्योर में 25 है एंड हियर यू कैन सी इट इज 100. तो अनसिक्योर एडवांस में इससे क्या पता चलता है कि ज्यादा मेहनत करने का जरूरत नहीं है, सेकेंड ईयर में ही वो 100% प्रोविजनिंग में जाने वाला है और बैंक ने जानते हुए अनसिक्योर्ड दिया हुआ है, स्पेसिफिकली पर्सनल लोन टाइप ऑफ लोन्स. अब वेयर यू हैव टू फोकस इन वेरिफिकेशन, should you focus on loss or D3? नहीं, already 100% provided है. What I want, I don't want anything else. So just ignore D3 and loss. Don't waste your time. Don't look at the names also. Focus only on substandard D1, D2. तीन कैटेगरीज एनपीए में आपको टेस्ट करनी है. और क्या टेस्ट करना है? बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट और सिंपल है. डेट ऑफ एनपीए पहला कि वो सही होना चाहिए, वहीं पे मैनिपुलेशन हो रहा है. सेकंड सिक्योरिटी, अगर सिक्योरिटी में इरोजन है based on whatever factors, based on various there are cases, if you study through you will realize that there is a simple way of manipulating and keeping it away from 100% provisioning for 4 years. So I will simple show it as a secure. Security type में भी देखिए प्लांट एंड मशीनरी दिखाया हुआ है. If yes, check is that depreciated. 4 साल पहले अगर 100 रुपीज का प्लांट एंड मशीनरी था, आज 0 हो जाएगा. इवन इफ आई लेट्स से depreciated 25%, सब 100 पे ही दिखाते हैं. So when you take NPA statement, take previous year's NPA statement, ask your junior to first compare the previous year and current year, that there should not apparently any change in the value of security. वो कहीं बढ़ नहीं जाना चाहिए. अचानक कम हो रहा है तो you can question. डेट ऑफ एनपीए चेंज हो रहा है तो यू कैन क्वेश्चन. टाइप ऑफ फैसिलिटी चेंज हो रहा है तो यू कैन क्वेश्चन. एग्रीकल्चरल लोन्स अभी आते हैं उसके ऊपर, वहां पे भी कुछ चेंजेस कर रहे हैं. सो इफ सच लोन्स आर देयर, माइंड वेल, check NPA statement and compare it with the previous loans and check that there are no changes abruptly done. नहीं होना चाहिए बट हुए हैं केसेस. देखिए स्टैंडर्ड एसेट में भी प्रोविजनिंग है 0.25%, 0.4%, but this is done at the apex level, at the bank level. You can taste check कि the provisioning सही हो रहा है या नहीं हो रहा है, and if you have a doubt you can raise that. See, many a time these loan agreements and disclosures are not seen by the auditors. Just quickly glancing this, look at the clauses like the renewal clause in the sanction letter कि लोन कब रिन्यू होने वाला है, मॉरेटोरियम क्या है, इंटरेस्ट रेट्स कब चेंजेस हो सकते हैं, इंटरेस्ट रेट जब चेंज हो रहे हैं बैंक की साइड पे आ रहे हैं, एमसीएलआर चेंज हो रहा है, वो कम्युनिकेट हो रहा है या नहीं हो रहा है, मॉरेटोरियम का एक्सटेंशन तो नहीं हो रहा है. मान लो सैंक्शन लेटर में या लोन अग्रीमेंट में आपने देखा कि 6 month 1 year मॉरेटोरियम इज गिवन. थोड़ा पानी देना. मॉरेटोरियम का आपने देखा कि 1 साल का मॉरेटोरियम दिया हुआ था, then moratorium is increased. Is that allowed? Reschedulement is one possibility which we discussed कि out and out अगर last day के अंदर और cash flow का loss नहीं हो रहा है, it will be permitted. They say that the project is delayed and 6 month moratorium is increased, 1 year is increased. अब ऐसा increase has happened more than once. What Reserve Bank of India says, in genuine cases once it is allowed. Now what is genuine, you will have to take that call as a professional call, whether the extension of moratorium is genuine, but in no case multiple time the moratorium can be increased. One of the classical case was one of the company was into commercial farming. नाम नहीं बता रहा हूं, listed entity है, मैंगो फार्मिंग के लिए लोन लिया, 3 years 4 years moratorium. In some cases it was 3 years, in some cases it was 4 years. Now at the end of 3 years कोई भी रीजन से वो मैंगो इतना ग्रो नहीं हुआ, ट्री इतना ग्रो नहीं हुआ, 1 year further extended. ठीक है, once it happens genuine extended. Now they say that after 1 year पहला जो पाक आता है वो बिकता नहीं, for again whatever reason, I don't know, I am not expert, और वो बेचते नहीं, तो no commercial realization. Further it is extended for 1 year. अब थर्ड ईयर में उन्होंने बोला कि द रियलाइजेशन इज प्रॉब्लम, बारिश का प्रॉब्लम है, वन मोर टाइम इट इज एक्सटेंडेड. So not possible. It is not allowed. Even if it is genuine, second and third moratorium cannot be accepted. And any company or bank should know the pattern of crop like mango कि 4 साल लगने वाला है तो लगने वाला है, उसके बाद 1 साल कमर्शियल रियलाइजेशन नहीं है तो नहीं है, और ये कोई नई बात नहीं है. So in these particular case, the case which I am referring, RBI said that nothing doing. Once accepted that moratorium, second जो भी due date था after acceptance of first moratorium, the bank, the borrower needs to pay, and if not, treat the account as NPA. Second, the project loans. मुंबई में बहुत हो रहा है कि प्रोजेक्ट लोन है, फॉर एनी रीजन किसी ने केस फाइल कर दिया, कुछ हो गया, बिल्डर के पास पैसा नहीं है, कोई रीजन हो गया, और 12 महीने का शेड्यूल था या 1.5 साल का 2 साल का शेड्यूल था, आप शेड्यूल को एक्सटेंड कर दिया. Once moratorium extended, again for no ungenuine reason, borrower can't say that कि मेरे पास पैसा नहीं है, वो तो मैंने ऐसे ही एग्जांपल में बोला. बट लेट्स से कुछ छोटा मोटा बीएमसी का प्रॉब्लम हो गया, लिटिगेशन हुआ, एंड 6 month extended moratorium, fine. Once it can be extended based on the genuinity of the case, but it cannot be repeatedly extended, and if so, discard the second time extension of moratorium. And for such clauses, you must read the clauses which are given in the sanction letter or the loan agreement, which is very important. Drawing power के हमने 2-4 cases लिए थे. So यहाँ पे एक point important है that stock statement cannot be older than 3 months. Look at the type of stock. अगर stock perishable है तो 1 महीने के बाद भी कोई काम का नहीं है वो. If you have a fruit as a stock, or if you have any other, let's say, food item as a stock, look at that how much perishable it is, and based on that you decide that how much lesser older stock statement can be accepted. But in no case for the current month DP calculation I can accept the stock statement older than 3 months. In no case 6 महीने तक अगर stock statement नहीं आया, the account will become NPA. After 3 months, I will wait for 3 more months, and if the 90 days have passed to the stock statement last came, the account will become NPA. So eventually in 180 days, if no stock statement has come, the day it passes 180th day, the account will become NPA. This I am skipping for the want of time. बहुत ज़्यादा इसमें important नहीं है. Delay in renewal is often seen, and ad hoc renewals are done. First of all, find out the reason why there is a delay in renewal, and if there is a delay in renewal, and if it is for not giving of financial statement, it cannot be accepted. Such cases don't accept. Ad hoc renewal done, review done, technical review, कुछ भी words use करते हैं, maximum it can be accepted for 180 days. Beyond that, it cannot be accepted, and account needs to be classified. If 180 days have passed to the original renewal review and ad hoc renewals are continued, that facility needs to be classified as NPA if it is not regularly renewal has not happened. Stock audit we talked, ये accountability का हमने बात किया. Just for the reference, it is para 24 in this new master direction. इसका हमने already बात किया. Consumer education का हमने बात किया. On the website of bank, there has to be these data available. This is given in para 24. Valuation का बात किया हमने कि there has to be a valuation of collateral security. In case of NPA, once in a 3 year, all security, immovable security, movable security needs to be valued. This is again, some of the point which you must keep in mind, you must read through, and this brings to day end flagging. So पहले कैसा होता था कि day end होगा एंड मान लीजिए मैंने 11 बजे का डे एंड किया. Today, various bank can do day end process as per their timing, as per data center timing. But for example, I did a day end at 11 p.m. on 30th September, and 11:30 some borrower paid. Then bank used to consider that as a receipt of that day, and that is right. RBI says that now when you do a day end for 30th September at 11 p.m. and 11:30 को अगर पैसा आया, it is not accepted. So now, more or less, the impact of this will be the day end needs to be done at 12 or post to 12, and some banks were doing earlier day end which needs to be shifted. वो एक important है, but day end process हुआ, account needs to be flagged as NPA if it has crossed 90 days. Gross NPA, net NPA का we have talked. Guarantee development, the important paragraph which is added, this paragraph which is added this time, एक और मैनिपुलेशन रेगुलरली हो रहा था बैंकों में. इफ देयर इज अ नॉन फंड बेस्ड फैसिलिटी, हम भी थोड़ा कम ध्यान दे रहे थे और हम लोग सोचते थे कि नॉन फंड बेस्ड बैंक गारंटी, लेटर ऑफ कंफर्ट, लेटर ऑफ क्रेडिट, इनको क्या देखना है. देयर आर एन नंबर ऑफ केसेस यूजिंग these facilities, the manipulations have happened. One, where the RBI has curbed this, LC devolve होता था, बैंक गारंटी डिवॉल्व होता था, they used to park in a separate account, and separate account was not flagged as per the aging system, उसको flag नहीं कर रहा था. Now RBI very clearly says that you may park in separate account, but customer ID वही होना चाहिए, और customer ID वही होगा तो any auditors will able to catch. Also system will able to classify the account as NPA. So today one guarantee has devolved. The bank funded that guarantee or letter of comfort or letter of credit. 90 days तक पैसा नहीं आया. The non-fund based facility which is converted into fund based has become NPA. And because of that, all other facilities of the same borrower will become NPA. ये लोग इसको सेपरेट अकाउंट में पार्क कर देते थे, नॉर्मल अकाउंट ऐसे चलते रहता था और एनपीए कभी नहीं होता था. So this circular, current year circular, says that separate account has to be linked with the main account. The CIF has to be same of the main account. Second possibilities of evergreening जो अभी चल रहे हैं, letter of comfort दिया मैंने. There are difference of opinion, but my opinion it is evergreening. There are chartered accountants, senior chartered accountant says that the evergreening may not be applicable in this case. I respect whatever views are there, but let us discuss for a minute so that you are aware that what is happening. So एक loan है, we were auditing this Mumbai main branch of one of the nationalized bank, and we saw that XYZ listed company account was SMA2 regularly, and in February some money came and account was classified as a standard. तो हमने जब SMA2 का डेटा लिया लास्ट एंटायर ईयर का, देखा कि ये मार्च में नहीं आ रहा है, बोला इस पार्टी का पैसा आ गया, we accepted it. Usually, I was also not paying attention to the non-fund based facility. So non-fund based का review चल रहा था. We realized that one letter of comfort given to this party for 100 crore in favor of Bank of Singapore. तो just out of curiosity पूछा ये क्या है? नहीं, बोला इनको 90 days का लोन दिया है बैंक ऑफ सिंगापुर ने, वही लोन से यहाँ का लोन भी पे हुआ. Now one of the view which is there is that the money has come from out of India, and evergreening norms of Reserve Bank of India are applicable to India. I respectfully disagree with that. Basis of loan is in India, that is letter of comfort which is issued by this bank. अगर ये letter of comfort नहीं देते तो Bank of Singapore will give a loan to this company? Never, will not give. 90 days के बाद क्या होने वाला है, पूछो borrower को, how are you going to repay 100 crore rupees जब आप साल भर यहाँ नहीं दे पाए, तो 90 दिन बाद how are you going to give to Bank of Singapore? And also there were some different issues relating to documentation. So we proposed that account as a substandard, saying that this is nothing but an evergreening. So might well, wherever there are non-fund based facilities sanctioned during the year, especially letter of credit, letter of comfort, or any other guarantee, please verify them carefully and see that it is not impacting your fund based account. वहां से पैसा दूसरी बैंक से लेके fund based में repayment नहीं हो रहा है. Simple manipulations which have happened. I lend to your borrower, you lend to my borrower. How will I come to know? Very difficult. But what RBI says, that wherever solitary credits are coming at the year end, you have a right to ask the bank to ask to borrower that what is the nature of credit. मान लीजिए 100 करोड़ का अकाउंट है यही एग्जांपल में और 100 करोड़ रुपया मार्च में एंड में आया. What I should do as an auditor, I should simply write a mail to bank saying that please call an explanation from where borrower got this 100 crore. It should not be out of a fresh loan from other bank, from this bank. If so, it is a case of evergreening. So simple, ask them. If they don't reply, give a disclaimer in non-farm audit report, give a disclaimer in auditor's report. If a loan is substantial, छोटी loan के लिए qualify मत करना auditor's report, but if the loan is substantial, you can qualify also and say that in such cases, money has come, but the quality of the credit, genuineness of credit, I am not able to assess or verify because so and so mail or so and so data is called, but the borrower and the bank has not responded. Going further, system generated segment wise NPA data. Each bank should have all for that data, previous year, current year, in between the year, and kindly verify that. Also day and flagging का बात किया. Coming to this SMA. Yeah, sorry, before that, upgradation का बात कर लेते हैं 2 मिनट. In which cases the account can be upgraded? Only in the cases where money has come. पैसा आया है और irregularity जितना है उतना पूरा पैसा आ गया है, the account will become standard in no other cases. ये regulation near up to balance sheet date का अभी हमने बात किया. Solitary credit, you can call for the data and please verify that in many cases the ingenuine credits have come. The credit which example which I earlier gave, वैसा भी होता है कि last year end पे एक credit लगाया, 1 अप्रैल को वापस वही अकाउंट को डेबिट कर दिया. वैसा वाले केसेस भी काफी हुए हैं. So please verify if there are year-end such credits have come. Borrower wise, there is no change in this rule. One facility of the borrower is NPA, all facilities are NPA. So please look at that. There is no other separate rule. और ये वाला part जो मैंने अभी आपको explain किया for IRAC purpose, if there are non-fund based, and if it is parked in a separate account, ask them upfront. And call that also in your main requirement letter that if there are any non-fund based facilities which have devolved during the year, where they are parked, kindly let us know. If they are parked in a separate account, whether these separate accounts are having same customer identification or not, and if that will pass through the software's test of aging from substandard to doubtful, doubtful to loss or not. This is all. Any other type of facilities, if it is overdrawn, if your branch has got bills business, be careful. अगर advances में हमें कोई ज्यादा risk वाला area दिखता है, that is bills, because there are so many accommodation bills. Now today the systems are much better. You should ask for GST and created bills, the proof of delivery of goods, the sales, how it is happening, statements, profit and loss account, balance sheet, receipts are reflected or not properly. There are cases where manipulations have happened through bills discounting, bill purchase, and please verify if it is there in your branch carefully. Security erosion का बात किया, direct classification we discussed, government guaranteed except central government, state government में guarantee को भूल जाइए. Central government में भी पैसा तभी बुक होगा जब पैसा आएगा interest का. Classification can remain standard but no booking of interest. Also, the exempted categories NSC, KVP, टर्म डिपॉजिट एंड LIC. अब तक क्या होता था, हम लोग ये एग्जेम्प्टेड कैटेगरी पे ध्यान नहीं देते थे, मैं भी नहीं देता था. एंड वी यूज्ड टू से टू जूनियर कि ये एग्जेम्प्टेड NPA आप देख लो, या स्टाफ लोन, नेक्स्ट स्लाइड में आएगा स्टाफ लोन, वो भी हम देखते नहीं थे. देयर आर केसेस ऑफ मैनिपुलेशंस व्हिच हैव हैपेंड इवन इन स्टाफ लोन. आई एम एलिजिबल फॉर स्टाफ लोन, मैंने स्टाफ लोन ले लिया और एक बोरोवर के अकाउंट में पैसा क्रेडिट कर दिया, ये भी हुआ है. सो इफ स्टाफ लोन इज देयर and use test check कर लो. So you can say that 5 account I have test checked and I have checked where the money is gone. It should not be transferred to borrower's account and made it standard. Fixed deposit. एक classical case हो गया 800 करोड़. 9 bank, biggest amount was in Oriental Bank of Commerce. You can search on Google. अब उसको story form में थोड़ा convert करते हैं कि क्या हुआ था. 75% कुछ ऐसे ही हुआ था. So let's say I am a trustee in one of the trusts. Let's say we are in Mumbai, I am trustee in Siddhivinayak Trust and I am member of Dadar Club. मेरा ऑफिस दादर है, तो मैं दादर क्लब का मेंबर हूँ, रोज दादर क्लब में शाम को ऑफिस के बाद जाता हूँ, रिलैक्स करता हूँ, फिर घर जाता हूँ. I met a financial consultant who must have done my profile reading. He became my friend. रोज आता है वो भी, मैं उसको पता है मैं हफ्ते में 4 दिन आता हूँ, तो वो भी 4 दिन मेरे को मिलता है. दोस्ती किया अच्छे से. He said, you are a trustee in Siddhivinayak Trust. I'm a financial consultant. We can do good business together. So I said, how? He said, when you are renewing the fixed deposit, you renew it through us. And if you renew it through us, we can give you some incentive, pass back, वे यू वांट, इन चेक और कैश. अगर आपको चेक चाहिए तो मैं सिद्धिविनायक ट्रस्ट में डोनेशन दे दूंगा. नाम ऐसे ही ले रहा हूं, कोई XYZ ट्रस्ट के केसेस हुए हैं. तो मैंने कहा अच्छा है. तो 3-4-6 महीने के बाद आई हैड अ फिक्स डिपॉजिट टू बी रिन्यूड. आई गेव हिम, आई टोल्ड हिम कि कल मेरा फिक्स डिपॉजिट रिन्यू होने वाला है, नेक्स्ट वीक में रिन्यू होने वाला है, यू गेट मी दिस रिन्यूड. एंड ही सेड ओके, आई विल गिव यू सो मच अमाउंट एज ए इंसेंटिव. And he gave me check, I deposited as a donation. He came in the other club, I signed document, gave him old fixed deposit receipt. After 2 days he came, he gave me new fixed deposit renewed receipt. I was very happy. This way I realized कि तो अच्छा है, and I did all my fixed deposit renewal as and when it started coming. Now suddenly this gentleman is lesser seen in club. And when I call him, अरे आज नहीं आया, तो बोलता है बिजी हूँ, थोड़ा बाहर हूँ, कुछ बिजनेस के सिलसिले में आउट ऑफ टाउन हूँ. फिर उसका एक दिन मैसेज आया कि आई एम शिफ्टिंग टू दुबई, आई गॉट अ बिग अपॉर्चुनिटी एंड आई एम गोइंग टू दुबई, बट डू मीट व्हेन यू कम टू दुबई. उसके बाद उसका फोन स्विच ऑफ आता है. आई एम नॉट एबल टू कॉन्टेक्ट. आई थॉट कि हो सकता है दुबई चला गया हो. और उसने लिखा भी था कि मैं दुबई जाके मेरे बाकी के नंबर्स भेजता हूँ दुबई के आपको. तो मैंने सोचा भेजेगा वो. मीनवाइल ट्रस्ट के ऑफिस पे एक लेटर आया कि आपने फिक्स डिपॉजिट के सामने लोन लिया था वो रीपे करो, या फिर हम फिक्स डिपॉजिट के सामने उसको एडजस्ट कर देते हैं. हाउ मच इज अमाउंट? 800 crore. 9 banks. आप you name the bank, it is involved where this fraud has happened. Major amount was in Oriental Bank of Commerce. A trustee went rushing to the bank, said we've never taken any loan. So he said, no, third party loan is taken, that somebody else has taken the loan. There were flaw in transaction. There may be involvement of some officials. There may be involvement of XYZ persons in that. But now if you look at afresh, you realize that there are certain to do which people should have. For example, in case of third party fixed deposit, for example, letter of thanks should go to trust by a normal, let's say by a register AD or a speed post or a courier. You cannot hand over to the borrower, and let's say in that case, that agent received that letter and he stamped and next day gave that letter back. This is one example, these type of documentation flaw were there, but ultimately that the person who did the fraud was not traceable, and banks lost 700-800 crore. I don't know who has borne how much, and whether it was a loss to trust or a loss to bank, that I'm not aware. But the simple area like fixed deposit loans, these type of cases have happened. So you cannot leave that area also, and you must verify if there are at all third party loan. Simple audit processes, we may find and feel that इसमें क्या है, KYC क्यों देखना है. Maximum banking frauds have happened. There people have found that the KYC document has problem. You may say that कि मेरे branch में document ही नहीं रखते. Go mention that in NFAR. If I went to the branch and bank says that यहाँ KYC नहीं है, centralized हो रहा है, यहाँ पे document नहीं है available, ask them to give it to you in writing that in branch the KYC documents are not there, and that is the best disclaimer you will have in audit report, because you are raising your hand that I have not seen any KYC. I am not aware that KYC is right, wrong, and how you have done that. Bank of Baroda Ashok Vihar branch. Go and search on Google. New Delhi. Some 15,000 crore rupees transferred to out of India from various 30-40 accounts. Ultimately, what was found? KYC नहीं था. We all are chartered accountant. We know that foreign पैसा भेजना है, आना है, Sometimes we have 15 CA, CB, some other forms are to be filled for what money is going. If it is importer, exporter kind of documents which are to be given and received. If it is inward remittances, you will have FIRCs. If it is outward remittances, you will have to say purpose. Uske samne maal kahan hai, bill of entry, bill of lading, various documents you will have to see. If you have Forex branch, keep these type of cases in mind. Also, it has happened in Union Bank of India, Jhaveri Bazaar branch, some 100 to 100 crore, I don't know the figure. It has happened where by Hawala, the money was transferred to Dubai. And in this case of Ashok VR BOB, the money was transferred to Hong Kong and various countries and said that there will be an export of diamond, which never happened. And this money was given by way of advance. But look at the tune of amount, 10,000, 15,000 crore rupees. And these both the branches, be it UBI, Jhaveri Bazaar or Ashok VR BOB, were under concurrent, were under statutory audit. So if you have any Forex transaction, please verify them carefully about all these cases which have happened. Moving forward on consortium advances, again record of recovery, किसी का कोई भी consortium leader हो, हमें कोई मतलब नहीं है. Drawing power you are not able to check because वो lead bank को देते हैं and you receive only one line of statement that this is drawing power. If that is the case, give a disclaimer, let it be a large account, give a disclaimer that drawing power is not seen. One case happened where the lead bank was not verifying and drawing power calculations were incorrect. And the member bank said, we were relying on this bank. We were not aware about the drawing power. RBI said, we don't know. If the error in drawing power is there, in your case also, the account becomes out of order and you also need to classify the account as NPA. You can't say that on that basis of later, I will straightway take the drawing power as such. Call for stock audit, बड़ा ही account होगा, if consortium होगा तो copy of stock audit report from the lead bank should come to this bank and they should be able to see that there are no irregularities which are reported, which are impacting the drawing power. इसको थोड़ा सा छोड़ते हैं. Gold ornament. Priyanka, your bank, HDFC Bank, Rajkot branch, 1.25 crore rupees fraud happened. Fake ornaments were submitted in the branch and the valuation reports were manipulated. So I also saw in one of the branch in private sector, Ratnagiri branch we were doing, we saw that signed values reports are lying with the manager और वो सिर्फ weight लिख देता है, price लिख देता है और file में जमा कर देता है. One classical case happened. That branch I did in somewhere in 2014-15, Ratnagiri branch of private sector bank. Prior to that, in Aurangabad, one case had happened where a branch manager filed a complaint in disciplinary committee to ICAI saying that the branch people, the auditors never visited the branch. Similar case also happened in Konkan where the branch manager said that branch auditor called us at Ganpati Pule in resort and took our signature. They asked us to take the signature and they never came on audit. Some documents were remaining which we signed at Ratnagiri station also. Two cases where managers have claimed. So mind well, all branches are having CCTV. If you don't visit and sign the report, these type of complaints have happened. Bringing this to your side of usage. For example, twice I used this CCTV footage way we want to use. So we saw that on table there were blank certificate lying. We immediately wrote a mail that kindly preserve CCTV of today, which from where you can see that there are blank certificates signed by valuer are lying as a bunch on the manager's table. Second case, 2 years back, we were doing, one small branch in Naxalite area in Madhya Pradesh. There's a small state called Mohan Kheda, and very near to Mohan Kheda, some 60 kilometers, 50 kilometers, there is a Naxalite area. We were given that branch. We went there. Complete branch having only Kisan Cash Credit, KCC loans. And KCC loans is the classical biggest fraud which is happening in India in the way of evergreening. Every year the loans are renewed and borrower will come and he will give you new Satbara. Last year you have 2 lakh rupees loan. Now you will give him 3 lakh rupees or 2,50,000 or 2,25,000. Last year's loan will be repaid with the interest. Current year's loan is sanctioned. Some of the cases are so afraid. So in that particular branch, we were asking one of the borrower. We said, "Abhi idhar kuch kaam to hai nahi. or that case of gold loan also, Ratnagiri, I will make a mention in 1 minute. We are running out of time, but maybe in 5-10 minutes we will cover up these 2-3 practical cases and rush through the balance part of the slides. So we saw that सुबह ब्रांच खुलती है, मेला लगता है, 200 जन ब्रांच में आ जाते हैं, जगह ही नहीं है पैर रखने का। क्या हो रहा है? केसीसी रिन्यूअल हो रहा है। केसीसी रिन्यूअल कैसे हो रहा है? पैसा देके जा रहे हैं वो लोग, नया लोन लेके जा रहे हैं। ओके, वेरी गुड। हमने तो किसी को देते हुए लेते हुए देखा ही नहीं है इतनी अमाउंट, मतलब 5 लाख 2 लाख। फिर हमने ढूंढा कि हाईएस्ट लोन क्या था। हाईएस्ट लोन इन केसीसी वाज ऑफ 25 लाख रुपीस। वेरी गुड, वी सेड शो दिस लोन, कॉल दिस बोरोवर। दिस बोरोवर वाज नॉट कॉल्ड। So we said, okay, ये borrower नहीं कॉल करते हो, आज जो borrower आया उससे बात करते हैं। Manager started shouting, you cannot talk to borrower. I said, I'm just casually talking. You have CCTV. See what I'm talking. You also sit here. So I told that borrower कि चाचा क्यों आए थे बैंक में? बोले बैंक वाले बहुत अच्छे हैं, साल में एक बार हमें बुलाते हैं, and this is recorded in CCTV. That is why I am mentioning. I know that JB Nagar is also recording this over the Zoom platform. So that gentleman said that ये बहुत अच्छे लोग हैं, I am coming once in a year, I bring my Satbara, I bring my Aadhaar card, and they give me some 10-20,000 rupees. And I come every year, and there's a very good guy who comes to our village in his car, and he comes, we are staying, तो वो जो ब्रांच था उसके बाजू में ही एक गहरा खीन था, वो उसने बोला हम नीचे रहते हैं, वहां से ऊपर हमें ये लेके आता है नक्सलाइट एरिया से, और हमें हर साल 10-20 हजार रुपया देता है। इस साल महाराष्ट्र में सारे किसानों के लोन माफ हो गए, सारे लोन गवर्नमेंट पे करेगा। पैसा वहां पे भी होता है, लाडली बहना भी चलता है, वहीं पे शुरू हुआ मध्य प्रदेश में, अभी यहाँ पे शुरू हुआ। वहां लाडली बहना था, यहाँ पता नहीं कुछ और नाम है, उसकी भी लाइन लगती है। 2,500 मिलता है, वहां पे 2,500 था तो 2,500 के लिए लोग लाइन लगाते। तो ब्रांच में आप ऑडिट ही नहीं कर पाते हो, 6 बजेगा तो बोलेगा बंद बंद करो, नक्सलाइट एरिया है। तो ऑडिटर 3 दिन में परेशान होकर घर चले जाते हैं। आपका होटल है वहां से एटलीस्ट 80 किलोमीटर दूर, तो आने जाने में और 2-2 घंटा 4 घंटा उसमें जाना है। तो आई सेड वी विल स्टे एट मोहनखेड़ा, व्हिच वाज सम 10-20 किलोमीटर। आई सेड वी विल स्टे दैट, वी स्टेड इन मोहनखेड़ा इन दैट जैन धर्मशाला। वो बिल भी रिम्बर्स नहीं हुआ। बोला आप धर्मशाला में रहते हो तो आपका बिल रिम्बर्स नहीं होगा, मतलब आई शुड स्टे इन होटल एट 80 किलोमीटर। कैलाश जी आ गए, मतलब बंद करना होगा। आपके आने से पहले ही बोला 5-10 मिनट में कैलाश जी आएंगे और बंद करना पड़ेगा। तो अभी करते ही 1-2 एग्जांपल और थोड़ा सा स्लाइड्स एक क्विकली रन करके। जुड़ा देता हूँ नगर को। होता क्या है कि एक एजेंट है, वो नियर बाय विलेजेस में जाएगा, लोगों को लेके आएगा, 7-12 आधार वाधार जो भी लाना है सब लाएंगे, साइन करेंगे, उनके नाम पे किसान क्रेडिट कैश क्रेडिट का लोन खड़ा होगा। नेक्स्ट ईयर वो लोन रीपे होगा, नया लोन खड़ा होगा। इन दरमियान अगर गवर्नमेंट ने कहीं लोन माफ कर दी तो सारे खातों में पैसा जमा हो जाएगी। ऑल्सो बीच में 1-8 साल में दिखा देंगे कि यहाँ ड्रॉट हुआ था, इंश्योरेंस क्लेम हो जाएगा और इंश्योरेंस कंपनी से पैसा आ जाएगा। ये भी हो रहा है, और ये अमाउंट इज मोर देन 30-50,000 crore rupees. We have written letters to the managing director of the bank that please inquire into these type of loans. In this bank branch we classified some 300 account as NPA. The simple point which we got is that 25 lakh rupees which was deposited, let's say वो 10:15 30 सेकेंड को डिपॉजिट हुए, 10:15 45 सेकेंड को उसको 25 लाख रुपया दिया। कंप्यूटर में एंट्री है, तो हमने बोला डिनोमिनेशन सारे मान लेते हैं 500 के थे थोड़ी देर के लिए। फिर भी 15 सेकेंड में बोरोवर ने पैसे भी आपने लेते हुए गिने और देते हुए गिने। तो सीसीटीवी का एक रिकॉर्डिंग तो बताओ, आज का बता दो, आज जो 5 लाख की लोन दी उसका बता दो कि 5 लाख को कब लाया, आपने गिने और 5 लाख दिए। कैशियर को बोला, कैशियर सेड आई विल नॉट टॉक एनीथिंग ऑन दिस एंड यू कैन नॉट आस्क मी अ क्वेश्चन, यू टॉक टू ब्रांच मैनेजर व्हाटएवर यू वांट टू टॉक, आई विल नॉट टॉक। Moment we said that it is recorded in CCTV, please tell us how many borrowers came today, how much cash was deposited, how did you counted the cash, and how did you give back the cash to them. So cash आ नहीं रहा है, जा नहीं रहा है, सिर्फ डिफरेंशियल अमाउंट्स दिए जाते हैं। तो आज 2 लाख का रीपेमेंट हुआ, 2,25,000 का नया लोन दिया, 25,000 रुपया दिया जाएगा। वो 25,000 में कितने लोग बांटते हैं भगवान जाने। Same is the case with evergreening happening in gold loan. That Ratnagiri branch which we were doing, only gold loan 35 crore rupees, private sector bank. So we said that how many accounts are open and closed on same day. They did not respond us. We wrote a mail second day, we want this information, they did not respond. In the evening, we escalated and marked the CC2 directors. One of the independent director was past president in those years. We wrote a specific CC to him and a separate mail. Okay, sir, one mail is written to you with regards to XYZ bank, XYZ branch, where you are independent director and these people are not providing us the data. And the data is simple. I am asking loan open and closed of the same borrower on the same day. तो आज दिन में अगर borrower का loan close हुआ और नया loan open हुआ, मुझे उसका data दो. Now with the help of further advancement in computers and use of AI, and I believe that every one of us should do AI level 1, level 2 and use that technology. The bank audit will be very simple and you will be able to save on time. Now we may be able to take out the data, but in that year we said provide the data. They did not provide. Moment we marked the CC, escalated, we got the data. 300 loan account open and closed on same day. Same modus operandi that no money is coming, no money is going out. Gold prices are rising. Differential amount is given to them. Bullet repayment is not allowed above 2 lakh. Above 2 lakh, it has to be a EMI based loan. वहां तो मन में आया तो 10 लाख का भी लोन दे रहे हैं bullet repayment पे. And LTV, as I said, 2014 circular is valid. 75% needs to be maintained. वो भी maintain नहीं हो रहा था. Valuation also there were issues. Certificates, as I said, fake बन रहे थे. With this all observation, we propose those all whatever accounts were outstanding as on year end as substandard accounts, saying that these are all accounts where evergreening is happening. But very tough time. It is not easy. It is easy to say now. बट वहां जाके प्रपोज करना क्लासिफाई करना बहुत डिफिकल्ट है. क्रेडिट कार्ड में there's nothing. Most of the banks are having separate subsidiary. It is there in RBI circular. We mentioned gold ornament का बात किया हमने, उसमें भी बहुत बढ़िया स्टोरी था. The person was sitting on the desk of gold loan was absent that day in HDFC Bank. Somebody else was sitting in Rajkot branch and he received a call કે તમે પેલી લોન આપો છો ને જેમાં પૈસા પાછા નથી આપવાના, ઈ લોન જોઈએ છે. And the person who was sitting, he was shocked. He said, क्या बात कर रहा है? So he called up higher up and said कि इधर कुछ गड़बड़ हो रहा है. Immediately next day the team came and they verified the ornaments were fake and 1.25 crore rupees ornaments were there. And that officer, where he was earlier in HDFC Bank, there also he had done some similar fraud. This is sort of a summary. This PPT is there. You can go through, nothing much in this. Provisioning coverage ratio, I already spoke 70%. You can read that floating provisioning is allowed. Restructuring हमने अच्छी बात कर ली इस पर भी. Change of ownership, अगर if there are cases, please mind well and see them. Willful defaulter, what auditors should do. For example, Kingfisher case. Now bank themselves took time to declare it as a willful. They are supposed to give a show cause to the borrower before they classify it as a willful. Moment they classify it as a willful, it will become a loss asset. So mind well, अगर आपको उनके डॉक्यूमेंट में कहीं दिख रहा है कि borrower is a willful defaulter, please pick up that, write it in your LFA, write it in your MOC and say that बैंक ही बोल रहा है willful है, तो make it willful and provide 100%. And auditors, the borrower को भी बताओ कि bank is saying that you are a willful defaulter and they should give a show cause and give an opportunity to borrower before they classify. So this is the consequence and audit verification we have spoken. IDFC 645 crore rupees अभी इस साल में हुआ है चंडीगढ़. What was, if I am auditor, what I should have done? भाई दो ही पॉइंट है which I have seen in public media. One, 250 crore worth of jewelry is purchased from the government account. Look at the operations. अगर स्टार्टिंग में 600 करोड़ था और आज पैसा नहीं है बैंक के बुक में, how the confirmations are going, and 600 crore account zero हुआ. As an auditor, send one letter for confirmation to those government department. Let them not respond, but you send so that you are caught, your skin is saved, that you have sent a letter for confirmation in 9-8 government department. The branch officials have issued fake confirmation, fake deposit received, money is paid to that jeweler, 250 crore rupees is one party only. So all these transactions, when you have account worth of over 100 crore and their balances have become zero, please see that at least you as an auditor send them a mail for balance confirmation, so that at least you are saving on your skin. Let the fraud be there. I cannot stop that fraud. It happened before the auditor would have done the audit. But at least if I send those confirmations, I will able to defend tomorrow if any regulator like Reserve Bank of India is asking me. ये हमने एक सिंपल बात किया था, just to understand how banks based on the non-payment of the dues needs to classify the account into SMA 0, 1, 2. The important category for statutory audit is SMA 2. We must take every month's SMA 2 data, put it in Excel, compare, see which has gone out of SMA 2, which has come in SMA 2, especially which has gone out of SMA 2 in February, March. See that from where the money has come in. और ये वाला पार्ट थोड़ा केयरफुली देख. इनकम रिकॉग्निशन सिंपल, पैसा आया, इनकम बुक होगी प्योरली ऑन कैश बेसिस इन केस ऑफ एनपीए अकाउंट. इन ऑल अदर केसेस, आज मैंने अक्रू किया 90 डेज तक पैसा नहीं आया, अकाउंट एनपीए हो गया, पास एंटायर अनरियलाइज्ड अमाउंट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट, चार्जेस, फीस नीड्स टू बी रिवर्स. इससे ज्यादा कुछ नहीं है, सेम है. मोरेटोरियम लोन वी हैव ऑलरेडी स्पोकन, वी हैव स्पोकन अबाउट द रीशेड्यूलमेंट ऑफ डेट आल्सो. रिवर्सल ऑफ इनकम, अनरियलाइज इनकम अभी का हो, पास्ट का हो, सब रिवर्स कर दो, कुछ नहीं है. अप्रोप्रिएशन ऑफ रिकवरी, बैंक शुड हैव अ पॉलिसी. If there is an agreement with the borrower, look at the agreement. If there is a policy, look at the policy. If no, consistently whatever they are following, they should follow in all other cases. Same pattern. I cannot book income in one case, principal in other case. वैसे नहीं कर सकता हूँ. I should do it consistently. This is simple checklist. Priyanka is going to take up, so I am not touching upon it. With this, thanking JB Nagar for giving me an opportunity. I tried covering up whatever cases I had noted in my HMT advance. मुंबई में नहीं है, एक पॉइंट रह गया लास्ट. Harvest and transportation advance. Last year we did one of the branch in Baramati in March 25. And we found that maximum advances are HNT advance. Ultimately, Sugar Factory has given a corporate guarantee. The Reserve Bank of India in this circular of master direction of 2025 November has covered about the security of corporate guarantee. Mind well, हम सब जानते हैं कि if there is a corporate guarantee given, there are some forms to be filed with MCA. In this particular case, which we verified, the Sugar Factory had done a credit rating also. We verified that data also and found there were errors in that also, the data which was submitted to the credit rating agency. Ratings आज किसी ने भी रेटिंग की है, आप किसने भी की हो, क्रिसिल ने की हो, उसकी साइट पे जाके कंपनी का नाम डालते हो तो क्रेडिट रेटिंग का सारा डिटेल्स आपको मिलता है. Many of us are not aware about this. Also MCA में there are forms to be filed which are also, again we should ask for that. In this particular case, the Mumbai's firm is doing central audit. Thanks to them, we proposed all these 300 accounts as unsecured in the March 25, given an MOC for 300 plus accounts. हो क्या रहा है, किसान के खाते में पैसा आया, नेक्स्ट मोमेंट शुगर फैक्ट्री को क्रेडिट हो जाता है, एक साल के बाद शुगर फैक्ट्री वो रीपेमेंट कर देती है. बैंक बोलती है इसमें गलत क्या है, हमने पैसा दिया, 12% इंटरेस्ट आ गया, ड्यू डेट में पैसा आ गया, क्या गलत हो रहा है? किसान को दे रहे हैं पैसा, किस लिए दे रहे हैं? शुगर कैन उगाने के लिए दे रहे हैं. और वो क्या कर रहा है, शुगर कैन तो पता नहीं कैसे बन रहा है, पैसा आता है, नेक्स्ट मोमेंट शुगर फैक्ट्री को चला जाता है. सो वी सेड दैट एंड यूज इज नॉट मॉनिटर्ड. गारंटी इज कॉर्पोरेट गारंटी ऑफ दैट कोऑपरेटिव सोसाइटी. उसकी बैलेंस शीट देखी, उसकी नेटवर्क से डबल तो उसने ही लोन लेके रखी थी, उसी को रीपे करने के लिए पैसा चाहिए था. तो ये पैटर्न लेके आए कि 300 लोग जो उनको शुगर बेचते थे उनका सारा डेटा बैंक में दिया, उन 300 लोगों के नाम पे लोन लिया और वो पैसा यहाँ पे ट्रांसफर हुआ, जो भी होगा जितना भी 50-100 करोड़, और वो जहां पे भी रीपे करना था रीपे कर दिया. So we said that this is just a funding to sugar factory, an unsecured loan and having various risks. If he defaults in his payment, he's going to default as well here. And this is purely unsecured facility for a sugar factory. Not only that, the data of the borrowers are incomplete. The end use, if he is growing and using that money for sugarcane growing, that is not nowhere it is coming up. simply just by giving of 7/12, you cannot have these type of H&T loan, the harvest and transportation loan, no proof are given for sale of goods to sugar factory by those borrower. हमने कहा अगर ये लोग शुगर कैन बेच रहे हैं उनको, तो जब ये बेचते हैं तब इनके खाते में पैसा क्यों नहीं आ रहा है? तो बोला नहीं, वो तो रोकड़ा दे देते हैं उनको. तो फिर लास्ट में ये जो पैसा दे रहे हैं किस चीज का दे रहे हैं? अगर शुगर केन का पैसा उनको सेल्स का पैसा रोकड़े में दे दिया तो आप क्रेडिट क्यों कर रहे हैं? दिस इज सिंपली अ ट्रांजेक्शन. मैं शुगर केन ग्रो करने वाले को एक धमकी देता हूं कि मैं तेरा शुगर केन तभी खरीदूंगा जब ये तेरे नाम पे बैंक में लोन लेगा, वो लोन का पैसा मुझे आएगा, 1 साल के बाद मैं लोन का इंटरेस्ट के साथ भर दूंगा, तो शुगर केन बेचते रहे, मैं तेरे को कैश देते रहूंगा. अगेन इन कर्नाटका एंड दैट पार्ट ऑफ महाराष्ट्र, huge loans are there, and we were told that many of the nationalized banks have reduced the exposure in current year. In this case also, we had debate and discussion with the central auditor. The audit which we could have completed in 4 days, we took 14 days, 13 days. आना जाना 10-15 दिन चल गया, and it was not easy to classify 300 account as unsecured. And you know the place, I mentioned the place, you know who are the people who can be there behind those sugar factories. So it's not easy even to classify an account as unsecured, but it was a tough time. So be it as maybe last advice, if you're doing bank branch audit, never go एक single बंदा बैंक में discussion के लिए कभी मत जाना. Go along with your 2-3 partners, your other team member. Second advice, please take professional indemnity insurance. The accountability RBI has started for valuer and advocate, and n number of cases are being referred to the disciplinary committee of ICAI. So please take professional indemnity. Institute का ही professional indemnity insurance है, काफी सस्ता है, कम से कम वो ले लीजिएगा. Happy bank audit to all of you. Thank you, JB Nagar. Thank you so much for having me invited, Kailash ji. Thank you so much. He, a couple of months back, he told, and casually I told him yes, and then I also forgot, and then he again said me कि आप bank audit पे आ रहे हो. मैं बोला yesterday evening I had a speech at Gandhidham and I said how will I able to come? I will not able to come. Fortunately there was a train at 5:30 yesterday and I came today morning 4 a.m. But it is his dedication. He was chasing me, and you have a fantastic team led by convener Kailash ji, and throughout the year as my year as a chairman in WIRC, two study circles, one is Borivali Central and one is JB Nagar. Whenever WIRC needed a help, I think it's a great support to Western India Regional Council. Thanks to all the members, thanks to the convener, deputy convener. I think that is the strength of JB Nagar, and JB Nagar has been supporting all the years to WIRC. A sincere thank on behalf of Western India Regional Council also to the team JB Nagar. Thank you.
Thank you, Ketan sir, for accepting my request, because Ketan sir was also out of town, and when I request him, he said it will not be possible first of all. Then I request him, then he said, okay, I will come sure. Sir, your practical approach towards bank branch audit, along with your valuable guidance on key focus area, common mistakes, and real life challenges, has truly enhanced our understanding. The clarity and depth with which you explained the subject have made this session extremely meaningful for all of us. And I am sure that each one of us will greatly benefit from our insights in our upcoming audit assignment. Now, I would like to invite our Deputy Convener CA Lalit Bansal to kindly propose the vote of thanks on behalf of our study circle. But before giving vote of thanks, मैं ये आप सबसे जरूर कहना चाहूंगा कि मार्गदर्शन ऐसा मिले तो सफर आसान हो जाए, हर कठिन ऑडिट भी फिर आसान हो जाए। आज जो सीखा है हमने इस मंच से, वो अनुभव जीवन भर हमारे काम आए। एंड वन अनाउंसमेंट फॉर ऑल ऑफ यू फ्रेंड्स, आज हमारे इमीडिएट पास्ट चेयरमैन केतन सैया सर आए हुए हैं और बैंक ब्रांच ऑडिट की बुक वो बाहर रखी हुई है, जिसकी कॉस्ट 150 है और 50 रुपीज में जेबी नगर CST की सर्किल की तरफ से दी जा रही है। लेकिन क्योंकि सर आए हुए हैं, आज वो बुक सबके लिए फ्री है। जिसने पैसे दे दिए हैं वो वापस लो। पहले बुक दे करके पैसे वापस ले लें, वापस फिर बुक ले लें, लेकिन ले वही जिनको काम आने वाली है। नॉलेज
Good announcement. Thank you, Gadkari. I'm sure you all are going to miss his sharing. So I'm physically challenging that sense. So thank you, Gadkari. Good morning to all. Thank you, Ketan Saiya ji. Despite your hectic schedule and your traveling plans into the session, so we are really thankful to you. And thank you, Ketan Saiya ji, past chairman WSC, seasoned speaker, for delivering an enriching session on practical aspects of bank audit, including IRAC norms. So on behalf of JP Nagar CP Study Circle, we propose a hearty vote of thanks and our seasoned speaker is also there for helping me. And thanks to all the admin staff. Let's have a break for 15-20 minutes. Thank you.